United States Olympic Committee Training Design Symposium. 2007, Gloria Balugue, Ph.D., UIC, Periodization of Psychological Skills Training. This original lecture was about an hour and 20 minutes long. These are audio notes of that lecture. Periodization is structuring training phases to enhance highest level of speed, strength, and endurance, plus dividing the annual plan to ensure optimal performance for main competition. Role of psychological training skills, or role of psychological skills training, is to increase consistency by increasing self-control over performance. Athletes should not need coach or psychologist because they have learned self-control for performances after sports psychological skills training. Coaches cannot give motivation if it's not there. Achievement drive is a basic psychological skill. Self-awareness gives athletes ability to replicate great performances. When athletes develop self-awareness, replication of peak performance increases. Coaches help athletes become aware. Productive thinking is related to self-awareness and helps athletes with confidence. Positive self-talk and practice productive imagery. Energy management helps athletes increase or decrease energy based on when they need it. Example, relaxing or psyching up. Everyone may not need the same psychological skills training. Psychological skills should be included in everyday training. Psychological skills training should be individualized. Athletes use what makes sense to them. Psychological skills training should be integrated at all levels of and ages. Different psychological skills can be taught at different phases of annual plan. What are psychological requirements of this training phase? Give athletes psychological incentives to train. Principle of taking away training if recovery is not right. That is, athletes can only do more if they meet criteria. Others must watch. Segment relaxation can be taught right after extreme intense training. Self-efficacy means situation-specific self-confidence and should be developed from beginning. New athletes sometimes are resistant to change. Sometimes old athletes are resistant to change. Emotional control is really important for athletes to accept corrections. How much intensity, focus do I need to perform well, and how do I control it? Can I think what I know I need to think? Athletes are responsible for their moods during training and competition. Interventions. Goal setting. Do your athletes have a specific goal to get better today? Relaxation training can be used for pain tolerance and recovery. Athletes have wonderful negative imagery. Athletes can train imagery and use effective productive pictures. What are you thinking? Make athletes aware of focus, thinking, etc. Complete focus sometimes keeps athletes unaware of surroundings, or they may actually be in a flow state. What was in the background that you did not want to think about? Video of good moves for confidence training. Examples should apply to athletes. Sometimes athletes cannot relate to world champion or superstar athletes. Catch them after a good move so athletes can start to develop awareness. Competitive routines help athletes get in mood, focus, or mental state. Not a superstition, and athletes must discipline themselves to do it daily. May contain 2 to 3 elements: what they think and what they focus on. Give specific feedback on improvements to help develop confidence. What can you think about to relax yourself? What can you think about to energize yourself? What was good? What would you throw away? Athletes must be taught and learn how to evaluate effectively to build psychological skills. Harder to work with teams, sports versus individual sport teams, due to individuality. Phases or focus of psychological skills training can be periodized into preseason, mid-season, end of season, and out of season, and then tournaments. Teamwork is primary on teams. Sometimes athletes may try to carry the team. 4 phases of group development. Team changes every year, that is growth, maturity, and different athletes. Phase number 1, forming phase. Why are we here? And what are our goals? Am I included? Do I belong? Leader coach should be more active in this phase. Team should grow, get stronger as season starts and ends. Pay attention to quiet athletes. Ask athletes, what kind of team do you want to be? Help athletes focus on what team philosophy is. Every athlete has a role. Phase number 2, storming phase. Part of a normal development of a team. Conflict phase of team development. Who has the power? How is discipline applied? In general, men tolerate authoritarian style more. Ridicule works less for both and may work even worse for women. What happens if I do not go along? How much power do I have? To help, you might say, this is the problem. How are we going to handle it? What type of team do you want to be? Team individual issues must be addressed. Storm is part of the process. Phase number 3, norming phase. Who are we as a group? How do we function? Group will come up with their own rules. Help the team form a productive identity. Can we work together? Do we all contribute? How are we similar? Norms will emerge anyway. Talk about issues before they come up. That is, what are we going to do if someone has a drinking problem or an eating disorder? Teams will create or abide by a code of conduct if you help them. Phase number 4, performing phase. When team is a well-oiled machine, team knows who they are and what they can do. Interventions. How do you coach self-confidence? Think of what coaches do to decrease self-confidence, then do the opposite. You can do much better, and this is what you do well. Help athletes concentrate, focus on tasks that help them achieve. Team of coaches also follow the 4 phases of group development. Give athletes responsibilities and something to live up to. Psychological training should be integrated into physical training.